Today in this tier list, we're talking about the absolute essential car upgrades you have to do, okay? There are some car upgrades that are nice, they're cool, they're fun, whatever. We are talking about the ones that are essential and that at bare minimum will improve the quality of your life in your car drastically, and at best case scenario could save your life. Without yapping anymore, because your guys' time is precious, let's get right into the video. First up, we have tires. Now, it's insane that I have to mention tires, but I really have a good point to stress here. Tires, and not only tires that are new, but good tires are so important. To give you a story, I bought my car. It had the cheapest tires on. They're called Ironmans. They're like $80 a tire, but they were fresh, so I didn't feel the need to replace them. I'm like, okay, fresh tires, they're not the best. That's fine. 2 months later, I'm inspecting my tires. I notice a little bump in the sidewall. That's not good. I always thought that a bump in a sidewall just meant, maybe look into replacing your tires. A bump in the sidewall is a compromise in the tire's integrity, meaning at any point the tire could give out and destroy my car at best, at worst, possibly end me. So then I had to get the rears replaced with balancing for like $300. Then a month goes by and I get another sidewall bump in the front tire. And then at this point, I'm just like, screw it. I'm not putting another 300 into fixing these tires that were worth like 300 for a set in the first place. I'm done. So I finally upgraded to good tires, and now it has made all the difference. All this to say, there are 2 reasons to get better tires. 1, for safety. Cheap tires can easily break or give out at even the smallest potholes, and that is a huge safety risk. And 2, they feel way better. So not only are you just getting marginal safety gains, you're not a safe guy, you think, oh, I don't need them. You're also getting insane performance gains, and you don't really understand the importance of tires until you go from a crap pair to a good pair. If you keep having to patch or fix or replace bad tires, for all that patching, fixing, replacing you could have done, you could have just bought a good set. So just go for the good set. You don't have to go all crazy Pilot Sport 61725s. You just have to get a good enough set. I would 100% put these in life-saving essential. Next up, we have a dash cam. Now, a dash cam is super important because it can save you from not only on-road insurance scams when you're driving, people cutting you off, brake checking you, you hit them, and then they're like, oh, you rear-ended me, I want money, which happens more than you think, but also part hit and runs. I've been the victim of 2 hit and runs. One, I didn't have a dash cam, and one I did, and it was so important to have that. But when you're shopping for a dash cam, it is key that you get one that is super high quality, like the F17 Elite from the sponsor of today's video, Redtiger. I've been testing this camera for the last few days, and it has been fantastic. One of the main reasons for that is just how clear it is. In the front, you have a 4K camera. In the rear, you have a 2.5K, and in the cabin, you still have a 1080p camera. But what I like even more is at night, you are protected. I love to night drive, and this is the world's first full night color dash cam with in-cabin view. I mean, just look at me and my homie taking this romantic night drive. As you can see, it is full color. We are clear, and you can see us and the road crystal clear even at night. That is amazing. Additionally, the video quality is very optimized with the Sony Starvis 2 front and rear sensors and HDR, so you get that nice exposure. But my favorite part is just the simplicity of this dash cam. First of all, setup. I don't know if you've ever plugged in a phone before. It's kind of a similar vibe to that. You just literally plug it in, put the dash cam on your screen, stick it there, tuck the wire. It's that simple to set up. And then the app is even simpler. You literally open it. Everything is where you expect it to be. It doesn't have that like headache-inducing app design. It is just so straightforward to download clips. And the download speeds are especially fast because of that Wi-Fi 6 connection that goes up to 30 megabytes per second. That is insanely fast. I tested it for myself. Don't worry, guys. I'm not just saying that. I also love how you can actually control stuff on the camera. If you're not a super app guy, you can just do everything on the big screen. Look how smooth this touchscreen is. Everything you want is there. There are plenty of settings to play around with, including adjusting the camera view, etc. If this all sounds intriguing to you, click the link in the description and you can purchase one for yourself. Back to the video. Dash cams are so incredibly important, and if you get a good one like the Redtiger, you'll never have to upgrade. I'm not going to put this in life-saving essential because they're not paying me that much. I'm just kidding. I'm going to go insanely important though, because like people seriously underestimate dash cams until it's too late. Next up, we have upgrading your headlights to brighter lights. Now, if your headlights are super dim to the point where you can barely see the road illuminated ahead of you, it is probably a good idea to look into new bulbs because it's just important, especially back roads. There could be deer, animals, etc. Deer are animals, but there is a huge caveat, and I'm sure you see it coming. Please don't get ones that are too bright, okay? A lot of people throw aftermarket lights in, and it is genuinely blinding, especially on your lows, okay? Your brights, your high beams, make them as bright as you want, okay? Because those are not meant to be on when there's other cars around. But low beams, please don't make them bright because you are going to blind other people, and they'll actually be a negative mod. It might be nice for you because you can see, but everyone facing you will be dying. And the other thing I want to say about lights is if you lift your car, cough, cough, those stupid truck drivers, please make sure that your lights are angled properly so that your low beams don't turn into high beams, okay? Overall, there's a lot of caveats to aftermarket lights, and a lot of the times your regular lights should be good enough, or your high beams. So unless they're burning out, which obviously replace them, I'm going to put these in take it or leave it. Next up, we have an upgraded speaker system. Now, by promoting this mod, which, spoiler alert, I'm going to promote it, I'm not telling you to be that guy that puts like a 10-inch sub in the back and deletes all your trunk space and makes your car infinitely less practical just for your car to sound like, I don't even know, like a rock concert, like with the heavy bass that just like rings in a 10-mile radius. But I am saying that a lot of cars, especially if they're not too new, come with really crap sound systems. And you think that's fine. You think, oh, it's not a big deal until you upgrade. And this is like a lot of things on the list. You don't understand how good they are until you upgrade. And then it's like you can't go back. Like when you're putting up with crap speakers, or it's chill, my favorite songs sound good enough. When you get nice speakers, you cannot go back. It's like you're hearing the songs for the first time again, just because they have so much more detail and quality. I'm just going to put it important. It's not like this kind of important where like it actually is important, but just how good it is. Nice to have doesn't do it justice. Upgrade your speakers if you can. Next up, we have an upgraded head unit. Your head unit, essentially your radio, is the layman's term for it. Definitely a nice upgrade if you're working with absolute junk, but it's not too important, okay? And I do say, like a lot of this mods on this list, do not cheap out. If you're going to go for an aftermarket head unit, don't get a cheap Android tablet like for $70 like the previous owner of my car did. Upgrade to something nice that has good CarPlay or Android Auto functionality. Or if you're not a screens guy, like I'm not a screens guy, I couldn't care less. Get a nice just Kenwood deck, a nice solid deck without a screen, and that will make a huge difference. These also make differences in sound quality. Okay, you actually get some sound quality gains. A bad head unit can take away from your sound quality. But overall, it's just a nice to have. Next up, a cheap one. All right, a lot of these have been kind of expensive, is a phone mount. Let me just put you in on a little secret. It is not safe to be looking down at your cup holder or the passenger seat to look at maps. And all you have to do is go on Amazon, Amazon's choice for phone mount. You can get a vent clip one. You can get one that sticks to your dash or to your windshield. Make sure it's not in the way of your line of sight for driving, obviously, but I still feel the need to mention that. And you're good. That's all you need. It costs $15 and you don't have to be looking down anymore. And I'm sure cops prefer the latter. Oh, wait. Cops prefer the phone mount. I don't know which one I said after the other, but cops prefer if you are looking ahead instead of down at your phone. Who would have thought? So for that reason, I'm just gonna put this insanely important, especially because it's like $15. Not even. You can probably find one for under $10. So just go get one now, everyone. Thank you. A backup camera. Now this entirely depends on your car. Some cars have fantastic rear visibility and are not too high off the ground, not too essential. But if you have a high off the ground car where you can't really see stuff directly behind you, a backup camera is huge. I want to balance out at important, let's say top of important. If you're driving like an old Nissan Armada or like an old Ford Expedition and you can't see directly behind you, that's an issue. There could be children, animals, lower cars that you can't see out your rear view mirror or out your side mirrors. So if you have a big car, get a camera. If not, it's really not important and just adds complications. Balance it out at important though. Next up, we have all-weather floor mats, upgraded floor mats, whatever. I'm going to put it actually at take it or leave it because there's a huge caveat with these. You know, bottom of nice to have, but there's a massive caveat with these, okay? If you are upgrading your floor mat, make sure they are installed properly, okay? I used to work at a car wash, or not a car wash. I worked at a Nissan dealership and I was washing the cars. And the amount of people that would not install their floor mats correctly is insane. And the issue with that is if you do not install them correctly, you are risking crashing your car and potentially risking your life. It sounds insane. Let me explain. There are two major issues. First is more obvious, just improper fitment and installation. Some people will just throw them in there, call it a day. If it slips around, it could get on your gas or brake or get under your brake and block you from braking your car when you need to. Make sure they're properly fitted. And the second, for similar reasons as before why it's dangerous, but way more glossed over and super common that I saw when I was washing these cars, is stacking floor mats. First of all, a pain in the ass to clean, although that's just my problem as a car washer. But secondly, and most importantly, an incredible safety hazard. Do not stack floor mats. There's no functional purpose to that. It doesn't help with anything. And again, this is a huge risk. If there are stacked floor mats right near the height of your brake pedal or your gas, could easily interfere with them. I want to stop yapping here, but all I'm saying is make sure your floor mats are properly installed. Nice all-weathers are fantastic to have. I just run them year-round because it's easiest and cleanest. But please make sure they're installed properly. Next up, we have upgraded brakes or performance brakes. I'm going to put these in top of insanely important just because of how important brakes are, okay? You never want to cheap out on brakes. I don't even feel it's just so obvious. I don't even want to explain it. And the only thing I'll say that I can add of meaningful value that you didn't already know is that upgraded brakes Obviously, you know, they stop quicker, but they're not that much more expensive. If you buy the parts yourself off Rock Auto or whatever discount parts store, they are not that much more expensive to get a nice set of rotors and pads compared to like the cheapest thing you can find. And again, like tires, brakes are such a dumb thing to cheap out on. Like brakes and tires, let me tell you this, okay? If you have to go into literal debt to make sure that your brakes and tires are up to a good standard, do it. Klarna, finance that crap to the end of time because of how important they are. Like people are going to comment like, oh, this is such an obvious tier list. People always make fun of my tier list because of how obvious they are, but you'd be surprised how many people think they can cut costs in these two areas. Such a dumb idea. Make sure they're always fresh and make sure you're getting good quality stuff. A radar detector, I'm going to put this is going to go, okay, it's not quite like approaching life safety like these. I'm going to put it important though. I don't know where you live, but where I live, it's just cops will pull for just about anything. Like if you sneeze and you accidentally, you know, drive 54 in a 50 kilometers per hour, there will be like a RCMP officer on your tail. There are some cities where it's just insane. And people think that radar detectors are just for like speed demons that are planning to hit like 300 on the interstate or the Trans-Canada. But radar detectors, I think, are best for just everyday people that have enough stresses in life. Life is going to jostle you around enough. The last thing you want on a stressful day coming home is for like Officer Phillips, who's like 45, to pull you over and be like, you shouldn't have been speeding, and then hit you with like a $300 ticket and a massive insurance bump. It's stupid. So let's tear down the stigma that radar detectors are just for these, you know, illegal street racer speed demons. They are for anyone and everyone. They're great for awareness. I'm not promoting to do illegal stuff. I'm just saying they're actually safe. They're good things to have. I would highly recommend a radar detector. Oh, just make sure you get a quality one. Cheap ones will give off false alarms and not be great with detection. Oh, and from a legal perspective, I'm not promoting anybody to speed or break laws, okay? I'm just saying in like a hypothetical world. Booster cables, important to have some on you. If your car's dead, booster cables could save you waiting like an hour and just 5 minutes of asking someone, hey, can you quickly like bring your car up so I can boost it? It's nice to have your own cables, definitely important. Window tint, another important one. Great for the longevity of your interior because it won't get as hot or as like sunny. I think it looks great in my opinion. I always think cars look better tinted in most cases. Great for privacy. If you have kids or a dog in the rear seat, it keeps them nice and cool, especially if you get ceramic tint, which I'd recommend, not just regular cheap tint. No really reasons not to have this. Nothing crazy important unless you're in like a super sunny state. I would say nice to have though. Top of nice to have. Next up, good wiper blades. Life-saving essential. Life-saving essential. A lot of you guys sleep on the importance of having clear visibility when in rain. And the reason I'm putting these up here is twofold. One, they're incredibly cheap compared to a lot of other things. So there's no reason not to have the top quality of them at all times and never skimp on, you know, replacement intervals, like try and extend the replacement interval of them, or get the cheaper one to save $10. It's not worth it. Get the highest quality you can. I like use the ones from Rain X. They're fantastic. And two, the life safety element is extremely real with these. Rain and bad hazardous driving conditions are such a big cause of crashes. And if your visibility is at all impaired because you're cheaping out on wipers of all things, that is incredibly dumb. These two are a great combo to have in the rain. If either of these two are not dialed in bad weather, it might be bad for you. Just don't cheap out on wipers. If they're not at all smudgy or anything, just replace them. It's a great quality of life and a great safety measure. Next up, we have coilovers or upgraded suspension. Honestly, guys, the enthusiasts are going to get mad at me. I'm going to put at top of take it or leave it for the sole reason that most cars don't need it. If you have a performance car, knock yourself out. If you don't, your stock suspension is going to be perfectly fine. In fact, in some newer cars, it's actually really well engineered. And so you might actually be downgrading unless you get insanely nice coilovers. And additionally, a lot of people have to cheap out on coilovers, which will actually make your ride quality worse and could cause a lot of stress on your car. So overall, unless you have an older performance car and you're going for higher end or at least mid-level coilovers, like 1,000 USD and above, I honestly would not really recommend going for coilovers at all. So take it or leave it. Finally, we have what's called a throttle response controller. If you're in a newer car, they are usually designed with drive-by-wire systems, and the pedal input for the gas may not be perfectly responsive or smooth. There may be a bit of lag, and a throttle response controller allows you to electronically change and fix and customize that. A great nice to have, okay? So many modern cars, like I drive my parents' cars sometimes, and I just notice the input lag of the throttle. It's so annoying, so stupid, and something from like Pedal Commander or equivalent throttle response controller will do you very well. Thank you so much for watching. From the bottom of my heart, you guys have changed my life for the better, and I really love and appreciate you guys for that. I'll see you in the next one.